Welcome back for part 10 of the Dungeons & Dragons Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden book series. This video will continue by covering Chapter 5, Auril's Abode. Auril now lives on a floating island of ice where she's taken over a skull-shaped fortress that once belonged to ice giants. This island is the coldest place in the north, so frozen corpses can be found everywhere. The characters should be 7th level at this time and have probably come here with the wizard Aurils Island, but they could have come here on their own. The players need 2 items from this island, the codicil of white and the stolen Professor Orb. Now don't forget that both can be gathered without confronting Auril, and that is probably what the players will want to do. The players also have a few alternatives at this part. They could take on Auril and destroy all 3 of her forms, which would be very difficult. This would end the winter, but good luck with that. Another alternative is to kill Iskra, who is the Frostmaiden's pet rock. The rock is needed for her to fly across the sky every night and cast her spell that keeps the sun from rising. You would think she could just easily get some other creature to fly on. That's what the book says will happen. Maybe that rock is part of the spell itself. I think that's a bit odd, so the DM may want to change that. The characters gain a level here for doing any of one of the 3 listed items. 1, they destroy all 3 of Auril's forms. 2, they slay Iskra, the rock. Or 3, when they discover the rhyme of the Frostmaiden poem in the Codicil of White. Remember, that is what's needed to gain access to open a crack in the glacier. The characters can reach the island in any one of 3 ways. Riding on the back of Juk, the whale, is one. They could book passage on a ship from Revel's End, or ride on the backs of griffins from Sky Tower Shelter. Aurils Island has been named the Island of Solstice and is shaped like a 6-armed snowflake. The players will most likely arrive at a dock on the southeast corner of the island via whale or ship, or they could have griffins drop them off elsewhere. If they approach by air and travel within 200 feet of the fortress of Grimscala, Auril's rock will attack, and someone could fall from the sky. While on the island and Auril is alive, the DC to resist cold is 15 instead of 10. While on the island, anyone who lacks resistance to cold damage will regain fewer hit points when spending a hit dice to regain hit points. So fewer hit points will be regained when each one of those dice are used. Lastly, fog obscures everything past 200 feet, so visibility is very limited all over the island. On the main island map, players will find a ruined dock. At the dock is an ice mephit who will happily act as a guide. The mephit will point out many shipwrecks around the island, and there's a random encounter table for what monsters can be found on each, so a nice little guide is provided here. If the players search the northwest arm of the island, they will find the frozen body of Nas Lantamir. When they find her, they will notice an outstretched arm sticking up out of the snow, holding the Professor Orb. That's one of the 2 items they need from the island. This member of the Arcane Brotherhood stole the Professor Orb from Aurils before she boarded a pirate ship to Aurils Island. But things didn't go as Nas planned. The ship ran aground, the wizard swam ashore, and froze soon after. When the frozen body is encountered, the wizard's ghost will rise up and try to possess the body of someone nearby. If the ghost possesses someone, she'll try to turn the party against Velen and join them in their search. The ghost knows that the Codicil of White is hidden on the island in a frost giant fortress called Grimscala. The dead wizard's familiar weasel can still be found here with her, even though she's dead. Don't forget that the Professor Orb is one of the objects needed on this island. The orb knows what must be done to reach the buried city of Ithrin. The players will quickly notice ice statues can be found all over the island. They are creations of Auril. If any of them are damaged, 2 things will happen. First, Auril will appear as a 7-foot-tall woman made of snow. She'll call the players defilers and give them vulnerability to cold damage unless they make a Constitution save. Second, Auril will awaken Korgra, an abominable yeti, and command him to kill the party. On the eastern slope of the ice mountain, where Grimscala sits, are Yeti caves. The 7 Yetis here will attack on sight. If all 7 Yeti are killed, their spirits will awaken Korgra, the abominable Yeti. Korgra may have been killed already, or he may be currently hunting for the group. The party may also find a graveyard of all the frozen creatures who have died on the island. An ice troll can be found there gnawing on their bones. Next, let's take a look at Grimscala. Grimscala is a fortress found at the top of a 600-foot tall mountain of ice which has a giant crowned skull carved out at the top. Enormous steps carved from ice, which were obviously made for giants, lead up to the top. The fortress was made for a frost giant queen, but it's now claimed by Auril. The Frostmaiden is usually inside, but every day, just before midnight, she climbs aboard her rock, which sleeps on the rooftop, and casts her nightly spell to keep the sun from rising. At this time, the players will have hours to enter the fortress and not worry about finding Auril. She will always leave at midnight and returns a few hours before sunrise. The fortress is all giant-sized. It's made of ice. It has a 2-foot thick blanket of mist on the floor. It's dark. It has 25-foot high doors and 30-foot high ceilings. The fortress has 4 levels, but 3 of them are small. There's the dungeon level, entry level, palace level, and battlement level. On the entry level, the players will find a very old, deaf, and almost blind frost giant who is the last of the former queen's clan. All he wants now is to die an honorable death. If subdued, he can tell the players that the codicil of white is in a downstairs vault. He will also tell them that only someone who can pass Auril's 4 tests can open the vault. He will tell them the tests are of cruelty, endurance, isolation, and preservation. 6 ice methods will be found by the stairs leading down. On the palace level, they will find a few piercers in a throne room and a bedchamber. The bedchamber is where Auril will be unless she's riding the rock to cast her spell. If Auril is here, she will do all she can to kill the party. The players can either kill her or run away. If they run away, she will allow them to do so they can tell others about their encounter with her, and she's hoping this will discourage others from visiting her island. There's the battlement level, which is the rooftop, which is where the rock roosts. The rock has a dragon egg in its nest, which will hatch soon into a silver dragon wormling. And then last, there's the dungeon level. The dungeon level has a large circular entry level with 6 tunnels leading off in different directions, making it look like a snowflake. In the large entry room is a giant walrus sliding about on the ice having fun. A frost druid has cast an awaken spell on the walrus, so he is intelligent and can speak common. He is friendly and will like anyone who tosses him a fish or something else good to eat. He knows that the southern tunnel leads to a vault where 4 tests must be passed before entering it. The north tunnel leads to a tomb for a frost giant queen. The tunnel to the tomb has 2 frost giant skeletons guarding it. The former queen is encased in ice, and if anyone chips away at it or melts it in an attempt to get to her, a sealing carving of the evil god of the frost giants will breathe a magical blast of cold energy into the room. It's a trap meant to kill intruders and reseal the queen's icy tomb. There is a treasure room containing a berserker axe there too. The 4 tunnels leading to the northeast, southeast, northwest, and southwest are the 4 tests of the Frostmaiden. When any of the doors are opened, anyone in the room will be teleported to the test location. The test can be taken in any order, and each participant only gets 1 chance at each. The first one is the test of cruelty. For the test of cruelty, the party is teleported to a ragged camp. This is the actual camp for the king of the bear tribe. The people are starving and about to eat 4 of their elders because they have no other choice. The party can pass this test by killing the elderly people or walking away and doing nothing. Players fail the test by refusing to kill the elders, defending them, or doing nothing. They have 1 hour to decide. When I first read this, my immediate reaction was, are you kidding me? Who's going to think that their mission is to kill these people and not help them? That's what it says in the book. Good luck if you have a paladin in the party here. The book states that this clearly isn't a dream. It is a real decision and real people. They must make a cruel decision or fail the test. I think a party who is supposed to be heroes will find it odd these are the only winning options. Not sure who wrote this. If I were the DM, I would make up a different test. Second, we have the test of endurance. Again, the party is teleported away to a ragged camp. This camp is home to the king of the elk tribe. Remember, this isn't a dream. The party's actually here. Here, the party must travel with the tribe as they dismantle camp and follow the migrating elk. A harsh blizzard is occurring, so the trip will be very tough, and it'll take 14 hours. Every hour after the first 8 hours, the party members must make a constitution saving throw or gain a level of exhaustion. The saving throws get more difficult as time advances. Any party member who completes the journey with 4 or few levels of exhaustion passes the test. How boring. Again, I'd create a new test. Third, test of isolation. Again, the party is teleported to another ragged camp. This camp is home to the queen of the tiger tribe. This tribe is planning to attack a nearby elk tribe camp. The characters are asked to stay behind and watch the camp, and the warriors will return in a few days. This ends up being 6 days instead of 2. Each day the players must make a wisdom survival check. The party member with the lowest roll goes missing. After 6 days the tribe returns. Accompanying them are all of the party members who went missing. They were found wandering in the snow. All party members who vanished and the ones still in the camp passed the test. Characters fail by dying or preventing the tribe from going on the raid. I find all this to be very strange. I guess at least one person is supposed to not wander off or at least not die. I'm not sure. How would they have died anyway? Just being in the snow, I guess. I can't believe that someone couldn't come up with better tests than this. I wouldn't use this one either. I'd come up with something on my own. And then 4, we have the test of preservation. Again, everyone is at a ragged camp. All but one member of the tribe here has been killed. The sole survivor is the 9-year-old son of the chieftain. He was able to hide in the snow to survive. The leader of the attacking tribe soon shows up and starts to circle the camp looking for the boy. To pass the test, the party must keep the boy alive. The only way to do this is to kill the attacking chieftain. If the boy dies, the test is failed. This sounds like an okay test. The first 3 tests are the only part of the book that I have found that I would absolutely change. I would have a grappling contest with a large, strong camp member, or a different contest that relied more on dexterity than strength. You don't even need to teleport them to a ragged camp. Have them fight some frost giants or any other monsters with an icy theme to them. That sounds like something Auril would do. 4 tests against 4 of Auril's icy champions I think would be much better. It's all up to the DM. Send me some feedback on this and let me know what you think about the test. After the test, anyone who passed them can enter the vault. If no one passed the test, there's another option given. 3 frost druids can appear and enter the vault. They supposedly have already passed the test earlier, so they just walk right in. If the druids see the players, they try to take the codicil of the white out of here to keep it from falling into the party's hands. The players can, of course, battle the druids for the prize. I wouldn't use this either. I would have 4 combat tests and let the group repeat one if they lost. Once the players have the codicil, they will find in it Rime of the Frostmaiden poem. This is what they need to reach the lost city of Ithran, buried under the ragged glacier. There is a final room behind the chamber holding the codicil. If anyone who has passed the 4 tests enters this room, the Frostmaiden will contact them telepathically if she's still alive. The person or persons will be given a chance to roll a DC 21 Constitution save if they wish. If they pass, they gain immunity to cold damage. In addition, they can cast Cone of Cold once every long rest. If they fail, they become an ice statue and they're dead. That's a big risk, but it's also a very big, very good reward. So how is this section ended? Killing Auril, or her pet rock, will allow the sun to rise again over Icewind Dale. If Auril isn't killed, she will find another rock hatchling and eventually raise it. Now this could be years, decades, or even centuries before she casts her spell again. I guess it's up to the DM. So like it or not, sooner or later someone is going to have to kill her. I found the 4 tests to be the most odd part of this book by far that I've read. As DM, I would come up with 4 better tests. Maybe one be a battle, one be a puzzle, or just whatever you prefer. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll be back with Chapter 6, The Caves of Hunger. Until then, good luck and good gaming.